Here we go again with the series closing in on the Chiefs. Today we will close the draft portion of it by going through their 4th round picks. The Raiders did close a large portion of their talent gap with the Chiefs in free agency and the first round of the draft this offseason. And while the 3rd round yielded some potential starters, it was mainly a round of depth. So what did the 4th round consist of? Mainly depth. But for at least one of the players drafted in the 4th round, there will be an element of competition to it. But all in all, the Raiders made a good haul in the 4th round, just like they did in the 1st and 3rd. In week 2 last year, the Raiders were able to run the ball on the Chiefs without starting guards Richie Incognito or Gabe Jackson in the lineup. But rushing the passer, Chiefs defensive tackle Chris Jones was a huge problem. He gave Raiders quarterback Derek Carr no room to step up when his edge rushers got there. He brought that interior pressure to Carr's face, and he sacked him himself once in that game. Then in week 13, Incognito and Jackson returned, and they ran Jackson's way, and they ran Incognito's way. But while Incognito pass blocked well, Gabe Jackson was still hobbled from an ankle injury, and he had to block Chris Jones, which is still a problem. In week 2, the Chiefs put super fast receiver Mecole Hardman in the slot against Lamarcus Joyner, and as you can see, Joyner got straight up charbroiled. That play didn't count on the scoreboard due to a penalty, but it counts on the coach's game plan and in a player's head, and that often leads to penalties. Joyner was better in the rematch in week 13, but do you trust him against Hardman and Tyreek Hill in the slot? So guard and slot corner were the picks in round 4. So we'll start with the bad on guard John Simpson, who injured his ankle to the point where there was a regular rotation at left guard. And that hurt him in space as he couldn't break down and change direction. At times he couldn't drop his hips to make contact, so he got booked. There were times he passed guys up and didn't hit anyone. The offensive line coach on my college football team called that throwing a no-hitter. When you can't or don't break down and widen your base, you either lunge and get bucked or whiff. Oh. But when he was right, he handled his business. He often drove those big nasty nose tackles 7-8 yards down the field. You can definitely depend on him at the point of attack, as Travis Etienne often did. Power gap scheme, zone scheme, he's a good guard to run behind. When he's right, he gets it done pulling in the power gap scheme. And in the zone scheme, he gets it done climbing up to the 2nd level, getting to the second level here is going to help get ATN a touchdown. He can also handle the screen game when he's right. In pass protection, he can anchor the bull rush and keep the front of the pocket clean. That gave Trevor Lawrence time to deliver the ball deep down the field. He can slide his feet if you make an inside move on him. He can slide his feet if you go outside on him. With his awareness, he picks up blitzes. He also picks up stunts. Now we start with the bet on Amik Robertson, the Raiders' second, fourth round pick. He will get tossed up by some of those big, strong receivers. Receivers can get separation by knocking him off balance. That was a bad throw, but you see how open he was. And with his short arms, he doesn't have much of a chance to break up a pass intended for a big-bodied receiver. So Robertson is destined to be a slot corner. And if the opposing team moves a big man inside, the Raiders need a big corner that can move inside with them. Robertson will even have a tough time tackling big receivers because the stiff arm is coming. What if that was Julio Jones? Speaking of tackling, when you don't have length, it often forces you to lunge. But he is plenty physical and a willing tackler in the running game. Here he's coming on the blitz, and he sheds a tackle for the TFL. He is willing to stick his nose in there and get it bloodied. Robertson is good as a blitzer, as he likes to get the ball out when he gets to the quarterback. And if you catch a ball in his area, watch out. Oh, not all big receivers were created the same. He takes this one's heart from him, jamming him at the line of scrimmage. Receivers will often be too busy fighting with him to get to where they were supposed to be to catch the ball. So he'll take it himself on some of those occasions. Robertson can also just mirror you and wait till you're at the catch point to challenge you. He's gonna get up there on this one. I wonder what his vertical leap is. Robertson can also play off as he is here in the slot, which is what he'll be playing in the NFL. He has good route recognition skills, but if you happen to get a step on him, he has tremendous closing speed to get back in the play. He ran a 4.43 at the combine, but he said he stumbled and that he's really a 4.3 guy. With the makeup speed I've seen from him, I believe him. Another thing Robertson has is tremendous ball skills. He has 34 passes defense and 14 interceptions in 3 years at Louisiana Tech. He is a playmaker, and a receiver his size has no chance on a 50-50 ball thrown his way. He can even go up and get one on a receiver that's a little taller than he is. And if you're not careful, he'll pick your pocket and turn it into 6 points the other way. And like Tanner Muse, if all else fails, he'll make a play on special teams for you. If the Raiders are going to compete with the Chiefs, they have to minimize a big problem by the name of Chris Jones. Incognito and Jackson are healthy for that now, but Jackson hasn't played in all 16 games of the season since 2016, and Incognito is 36 years old, so depth is needed. Lamarcus Joyner, one of the team's captains, is trying to have a bounce back year from his pulled hamstring last year, but I'm not sure he can cover the speed the Chiefs put in the slot regardless. So Robertson, who has great speed, is going to challenge him for his spot. Thank you for watching and see you next time.